All right, let's get straight to it. If you or your people are in the Middle East right now, this is for you. We're diving into an urgent intelligence report on a conflict that's just exploded. What we're going to cover in the next few minutes isn't just news, it's a playbook for how to stay safe when things are going south fast. Okay, so just look at this timeline. Look at how fast this all went down. We're talking about a massive military operation, the death of a supreme leader, and boom, a full-blown regional war. And all of this happened in less than 48 hours. That speed, that unbelievable speed, is the key takeaway here. It's what's catching everyone off guard. And this quote, this really hits the nail on the head. The paradigm has shifted from heightened awareness to active crisis management. You know, that says it all, doesn't it? It means that for anyone on the ground, expats, employers, you name it, the time for just keeping an eye on the news, that's over. This is now about actively managing a crisis. It's about making moves to survive. So, let's start with part one, a region at war. We're going to look at what really kicked this whole thing off. What was that one geopolitical catalyst that just lit the fuse on all this chaos? And here's the thing you have to get. This is not some small, contained conflict. No way. When you take out a leader like that, you create this huge power vacuum. And that has just triggered this domino effect of retaliatory strikes all across the Middle East. The key thing to remember, nobody is insulated from this. No country is safe. Okay, on to our second section, the ground reality. So we've got the big picture, right? Now let's zoom in. Let's look at the actual country-by-country intelligence as of March 1st and see what this means for expats on the ground, like right now. Wow, okay, just look at this. We're talking about places that are usually seen as safe havens for expats, right? The UAE is now a do-not-travel zone. Why? Missile launches. And in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, they're literally telling people to stay home because facilities are being targeted. I mean, this is not normal. This is completely unprecedented. And if you think that's bad, it gets worse outside the Gulf. Iran itself is in total chaos. Civil unrest, closed airspace, the works. Lebanon? It's an active war zone. And even a place like Jordan, which is usually pretty stable, has shut its borders. You can see the pattern here. The entire region is just locking down. Which brings us to probably the most important part of this whole briefing, Section 3. Expatriate survival protocols. Pay close attention here, because if you're in the region, this is your immediate, life-saving checklist. And I want to be clear, these aren't just suggestions. These are protocols that could literally save your life. Okay, 4 steps. You have to follow them, no exceptions. Step 1, shelter in place. If you hear an alert, you move. Get to an inner room, stay away from windows, away from glass. Simple. Step 2, communications. Keep your devices charged, all of them. Think of that battery life as your lifeline. Step 3, your go bag. We'll talk more about this in a sec, but you need your passport, your papers, all of it ready to grab. And step 4, avoid strategic sites. Just stay away from government buildings, military bases, you know, the obvious targets. Don't make yourself part of the scenery. All right, let's talk about that go bag. What's actually in it? Your passport, visas, insurance papers. And notice this, you need both physical and digital copies. Super important. Also, a charged power bank is non-negotiable. And cash. You absolutely need cash, both local currency and US dollars. The whole point of this bag is that it's packed and sitting by the door, ready to go in a split second. Okay, so let's switch gears for a minute and talk to the employers, the companies with people on the ground. This is for you. Your corporate duty of care, well, it just went into overdrive. This isn't just a nice to have. We're talking about a legal and ethical imperative now. So, what do you need to do right now? First, you need a 24/7 check-in protocol. Know where your people are at all times, using encrypted apps. Second, forget commercial flights. They're failing. You need to be securing standby evacuation contracts now. Third, pull out those insurance policies. Does your iPMI specifically cover war and terrorism? You have to check, because a lot of them don't. And finally, offer to get dependents out. Give them a chance to repatriate voluntarily, immediately. And that brings us to our final section, decoding insurance in combat. Let's talk about the fine print on those policies. Because honestly, what you don't know here could leave you completely exposed right when you need that protection the most. Okay, this is a really, really important distinction. Let's call it passive risk versus active risk. Passive risk is, you're just living your life in Dubai and a conflict breaks out around you. You're an incidental victim.
That's usually covered. But active risk, that's you deciding to fly into a known war zone after your government has said do not travel. You do that, and guess what? Your insurance company might just wash their hands of you and void your coverage completely. And here's another trap people fall into. They see evacuation on their policy and think they're covered. But hold on. A standard medical evacuation is for when you're sick or hurt. It takes you from one hospital to another. A security evacuation, that's a whole different beast. That's a special team extracting you from a city that's falling apart due to war or unrest. They are not the same thing, and you have to make sure you have that security rider on your policy.
And one last thing, a really practical point. Even if you have the best insurance policy in the world, the systems on the ground are under massive strain. Think about it. Those direct billing networks that let you just swipe an insurance card at a hospital in Dubai, they might not be working. So you can't just assume it'll work. Your people absolutely have to have access to emergency cash for upfront payments. It's essential. So we'll end with this one question. It's for every HR director, every executive out there. Is your organization just insured, or is it actively protected? Because having a piece of paper, a policy document, just isn't enough anymore, not in a full-scale regional war. The difference between those two things, being insured versus being protected, is, and I'm not exaggerating, the difference between life and death.